Hi everyone, my name is Holly. I'm going to be reading to you a kid's story today, a Ramadan story called Night of the Moon. Maybe you've heard of it or you have it in your house. It's by Hina Khan. She's a local. She lives in DC. And there's Yasmin on the cover looking up at the moon, and we're going to learn through this book how the moon changes throughout the month of Ramadan. Now, the month of Ramadan is going to be in April this year, so we have 2 months, but I figured I'd read this book so we can get excited about it. So let's start. It was bedtime, and Yasmin waited for her mom to read her story as she did every night. But this night was different. Mom came into her room and pulled back the curtains that hung over the window. "Come and take a look at the moon," she said. "What's so special about the moon?" Yasmin wondered. "See for yourself," Mom said. "That tiny little line? You guys see it?" Yasmin asked as she squinted into the darkness. "I can hardly see it." "That's because it's the moon's first crescent," Mom said. "It means a new month is beginning." It's nice, they're looking up at the stars and the moon together. "A new month?" Yasmin asked, "but it's only the 17th. It's a new month in the Islamic calendar, which is based on the moon," Mom explained. "Long ago, people used the shape of the moon to keep track of days. They'd watch the moon grow bigger until it was full, and then smaller until it disappeared. When the moon reappeared, a new month would begin." "Like tonight," Yasmin said. "Exactly. And you know what month is starting tonight?" Mom asked. "The month of Ramadan," Yasmin answered. Look how happy she is. Yasmin had been looking forward to Ramadan. It was a time filled with delicious foods, new clothes, lots of parties, and her favorite thing ever, presents. Look at all the presents. Her teacher, Mr. Sanchez, told the class at school the next day, Yasmin was proud when her class had a discussion about Ramadan. See, they're all sitting in a circle talking about Ramadan. Her teacher, Mr. Sanchez, told the class, "During the month of Ramadan, many Muslim people fast each day. Does anyone know what that means?" Yasmin did. "It means you don't drink or eat anything all day long," she shared. "You wake up before sunrise to eat, and then you don't have anything else until the sun goes down." Everyone had lots of questions about fasting. They especially wanted to know if kids had to do it. "Little kids don't fast," Yasmin said, "but maybe I'll try it for a day next year." Yasmin imagined a day without lunch, or snacks, or even a drink of water. That afternoon, Yasmin and her little brother Bilal had snacks at home. Yasmin asked her mom if fasting was hard. "It can be hard sometimes, but I don't mind," Mom answered. "Fasting helps me remember to be grateful for the food I have and to be more patient. Patience is important." As the sun slowly started to go down in the sky, Yasmin helped Mom pile a plate high with fresh dates and prepare a pitcher of milk. These were the traditional foods to eat after the fast. So there's the milk and the dates. See, the sun is setting. It's almost time. Finally, sunset came and Dad passed around the dates and said a little prayer. Everyone bit into the sweet, chewy fruits together, and the first fast of Ramadan was over. Then it was time for a special dinner with everyone's favorite foods. I wonder what they're going to eat. What do you guys eat during iftar in Ramadan? Are there any foods you're excited about? I can think of some. That weekend, Yasmin's family went to her cousin Hamza's house for the first of many Ramadan parties. Her aunt and uncle served a big dinner of beef kebabs, grilled vegetables, and fresh bread. Then there were tons of desserts, everything from chocolate fudge cake to rice pudding. After dinner, Yasmin peeked out at the window at the moon. It looked like it was stuffed with good food too, since it was now a thick crescent. So a week has passed, and look how the moon has changed. We see it growing a bit bigger, and look at all those yummy desserts and yummy food. And sharing with family, what could be better? The next week, Mom and Dad spent hours in the kitchen cooking up huge pots of food to bring to the mosque. Yasmin and Bilal made cupcakes too. Ramadan is a time for sharing, Dad explained. Not everyone has as much to eat as we do. The mosque was filled with people that weekend, and soon all of the cupcakes were gone. As Yasmin walked outside after the evening prayer, she felt good about helping others. She looked up at the moon, which was half full now, like a half-eaten cupcake. See? It's changing. It's growing bigger. The month is passing. The days of Ramadan quickly flew by. Yasmin looked for the moon every night. One night when Grandma was visiting, she and Yasmin went for a walk after dinner. Together they saw that the moon was a brilliant circle. "Oh, it's so pretty," said Yasmin, wishing she could see it closer. "Subhanallah," said Grandma. That was what Grandma said whenever she saw something wonderful. It was her way of being thankful for beautiful things. The full moon meant that Ramadan was already half over. Yasmin couldn't believe it. Ooh, this looks like fun. The next weekend, it was time for Yasmin's family to have a Ramadan party. Lots of friends and family came over in the evening for a big backyard barbecue. Dad set up a trampoline in the yard, and Yasmin, Bilal, and Hamza took turns leaping towards the stars, pretending they were on the moon. Meanwhile, a real half moon shone in the sky. See? It went from full, and now it's getting smaller again as the month passes. They look like they're having lots of fun. Oh, barbecue. Over the next week, Yasmin watched as the moon slowly changed to a crescent and then to a thin line. The month of Ramadan was coming to an end. Finally, one night, the sky was moonless. As hard as she looked into the blackness outside her window, Yasmin couldn't find the moon at all. There's no more moon, Yasmin announced to her family. Yasmin couldn't wait for tomorrow, when the moon's first crescent would appear for a very special night. The night of the moon. The night of the moon meant that Ramadan was over, and the following day would be the holiday of Eid. Look, there's no moon. She's just looking at an empty sky. Everybody's excited for Eid. Look at this! When the sun set the next evening, Yasmin's family went to the community center for the Night of the Moon celebration. Decorated with lights and shiny balloons, the place looked magical. There were lots of stalls where people sold clothes, jewelry, toys, snacks, and gifts. From different countries, Yasmin bought some green metal bangles from India that jingled on her wrist. Bilal got a red hat with a big tassel that came from Turkey. There's Bilal in his hat. Where's Yasmin and her bangles? Oh, there's her green bangles from India. Mom picked out new clothes for the family to wear on Eid, including a pretty green dress for Yasmin. Look at that. Fun times together in the masjid. Can't wait. Later that night, Yasmin had her hands painted with henna paste in a beautiful pattern with moons and stars. The paste left a dark orange dye on her palms that would last for about a week and then fade away. Yasmin was excited to show her friends at school. Who gets henna? Do you guys get henna on your hands for Eid? I do. I love designing my hands the day before Eid or the day of Eid too. Look at this design. Should try this. I should try that next time. When the family got home that night, Yasmin caught a glimpse of the moon's first crescent, so thin it was like a faint line of chalk in the sky. Can you guys see it? Right there. The next morning, Yasmin woke up to the sound of Bilal shouting, "Eid Mubarak! Eid Mubarak!" This was the traditional greeting of Eid, a very happy day for Muslims all over the world. After a big breakfast together, Yasmin and her family dressed up in their new clothes and went to the mosque for Eid prayers. Everyone gathered on the lawn to wish each other a happy holiday and exchange the 3 hugs of Eid. Oh, I can't wait till we can do this again, inshallah. Then Yasmin's family visited friends and relatives for the rest of the day. Everywhere they went, Yasmin and Bilal received little gifts of money called Eidi. They're so happy and hugging. For Yasmin, though, the best part of the holiday, better than the henna, the new dress, and all the Eidi money she collected, was the surprise she got at bedtime. Mom and Dad called her into the family room and handed her a big box wrapped in shiny silver paper. Ooh, I wonder what's in it. "It's an Eid present," Yasmin Mom said, smiling, "to help you watch for Ramadan to come again next year." Yasmin tore the paper off the box. It was a huge telescope. She stayed up late with Dad, putting it together and setting it up in her bedroom. Then she took a look at the sky from the window, and this is what she saw. Whoa, subhanallah, Yasmin whispered as she looked at the wonderful moon. She couldn't wait for Ramadan next year. Who here has a telescope? Yeah, you can take a look at the moon and the stars and the planets. It would be a wonderful activity to do during Ramadan, just like Yasmin. So that's the end of our book. But there's going to be a moon activity, moon sand activity, coming up after this. So join me for that. So today we're going to, for our Night of the Moon activity, which I just read, we want to make something that reflects the story we just read. So I have an activity. You can make your own moon sand, and we're going to learn about the surface of the moon as well. So this is a really fun activity for like toddlers, moms, parents out there. It's super easy. Preferably you should do this in a kitchen, but you just need a 1/4 cup of oil and 2 cups of flour. And you can use plastic. I'm using glass right now. I would, with kids, use plastic maybe to mix everything in. And so let me just pour this in for you guys. And then we can have our fun textured mixture to make some moon sand. Okay, so that's our first cup. This is our second cup. And I'm going to pour my oil in. It's about a 1/4 cup there. I'm going to pour that in. Okay, and this is fun to do. It's like baking. And we're going to mix that. You can use a spoon. You can use your hands. Right now I'm using a spoon, but sometimes it's more fun to do things with your hands, right? So you just mix that. And we're going to be able to shape, we're going to be able to make a shape with this. And you'll see once you mix the ingredients in, you start to see that it starts to clump together. I might need a little more oil. I don't think I have enough. Just a little sprinkle. And also, so with the moon, so we learned about the moon in Night of the Moon. And we learned that the moon changes over time, over the course of a month. And we saw that in the middle of the month of Ramadan, the moon is full. There's a full moon right in the smack of the middle of the month. So I wanted to have you guys use your hands to make your own moon. So let's see if this works. I have a round plate here. You can get a round plate. And you know, you can use your hands and feel if it starts to feel like you can make shapes out of it, then your mix is ready. Okay, so I'll put some of this here. This is fun, and you can save to use this later. I know there are different recipes online for moon sand, but I found this one. It seemed like everybody would have the materials for it in their home. Flour and oil seems to be pretty common materials. So as you can see, everything starts to stick together, and I'm making like a moon here. Okay. See, you can flatten it out. You can use a rolling pin to make the surface smooth. I think mine still needs a little oil, but at home I would like make the texture or mix the ingredients until the texture feels clumpy enough so that you can actually shape things with it. So we have our moon surface here. Now, obviously, if you've ever looked at a moon under a telescope or in a telescope, or just if even in the sky sometimes, especially when it's full, you can see it has marks on it. So I have this little egg cup here, which I'm going to use to make my craters. And does anybody know why there are craters on the moon? I'm just going to wait and have you guys think about that for a second. And you can get different shapes. You know, you can get different circular shapes to make your marks. You can even use your fingers. I saw some people online use marbles. Oh, this looks like a moon. This is starting to look like a moon. So craters are formed from meteorites hitting, crashing into the surface of the moon. So we have a moon here with its craters. You guys can make your own moon and enjoy, and then use the mixture. Also save it for other craft times. I hope you guys enjoyed the story time and the craft. It's simple, easy, fun, a little messy, but you can save the mixture, like I said, and you can use it for upcoming crafts you do at home, and you can do it again during Ramadan in the middle of the month to remind yourself of the moon and its shape and that the month is halfway over. So there's our moon. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Inshallah, this benefited many. Assalamu alaikum.